Hello and welcome to Big Bang with me, Nabila. First up, in a shocking incident, a woman doctor and her assistant were attacked and stripped in their government Ayurvedic hospital by a 100-strong mob led allegedly by a Gram Panchayat president. The incident took place at a village in Nelamangala Taluk on the 7th of July. In fact, the Gram Panchayat leader allegedly made a mockery of the victims' efforts to bring them to book and roamed around the police station and ridiculed the doctor and her assistant. It all began when the doctor was accused of spreading the news that the village Anganwadi students were being fed food which had insects in it. The news was aired on local TV channels as well as newspapers, leading to departmental inquiry. Well, it is indeed a shocking incident where a woman and the doctor, her assistant, was attacked and stripped in their government Ayurvedic hospital by 100-strong men, allegedly led by a Gram Panchayat president himself. The incident took place at Nelamangala Taluk village on the 7th of July. In fact, the Gram Panchayat leader had allegedly made a mockery of the victims' efforts to bring them to book and roamed around the police station and ridiculed the doctor and her assistant. It all began apparently when the doctor was accused of spreading the news that the village Anganwadi students were being fed with insects in the food. The news was also aired in local TV channels as well as newspapers, after which it led to a departmental inquiry. My colleague Verghese was right on the spot. This is what he had to say.
It is a strange happening in this particular village in Nelamangala. We won't tell you the name of this village to protect the identity of the person that is involved in the story. But this is a strange story indeed. There is an Anganwadi and the story begins from there. This particular Anganwadi over here was in fact singled out for the kind of meals that was given to its children. There was an allegation saying that the children were given meals that were infected with worms and insects. Now this was given by a doctor who had a clinic very next to it, an Ayurvedic doctor. She gave a complaint as well as informed the media with regards to what is happening at this Anganwadi. Now, this doctor was not spared for the information that she had leaked out to the media. She was in fact asked to appear before the Panchayat on July 7th. The Panchayat asked her why did she complain with regards to this particular incident in this Anganwadi, and also went to defend, saying that there was nothing like that in this particular midday meal scheme that was running in this Anganwadi and what the kind of food that was given to the children there. But the doctor in fact was in for a shock. What she says and what she claims is that the Panchayat in fact saw the villagers trying to attack her. She also went on to allege that the villagers ripped her clothes as well as that of her assistant and was chased from the clutches of the mob that immediately surrounded her there. Now the problem is, she went straight to the police station and filed a complaint against all the villagers over here. 20 people FIR was registered against, and what we know is that 5 of them have been arrested. Now this is the house from which 3 people were arrested because of this particular complaint that was filed by the doctor. Now what is the situation is similar to what all the houses in this particular village have. They have been all locked and the people have left from the place. Now the tragedy of this particular place is that this fear psychosis has been across this complete village, and what we know is that there's a lot of cattle that have not been attended to. In fact, let me take you to this particular place. This is a cattle shed, and over here we have cows that have not in fact been tended to for the last 3 days. Now like this, there are around 4 cows in this entire area. A lot of cattle is there, but there's no one to take care of all these cattle that has been lying around. Now this is the kind of fear that has generated. People are not going to come back to their homes thinking that the police will in fact arrest all of them, because this particular doctor has filed a complaint against the entire village. This is Verghese for News 9 from Nelamangala.
Moving on, the dengue scare in Bengaluru is indeed real. 2 more people lost their lives to the deadly fever. Will the BBMP act quickly is now the question.
Dengue claimed 2 lives in Kadiranapalya's Pora Karmikas colony. Relatives of 12-year-old Deepika and 68-year-old Ravanaya were inconsolable today. Deepika had high fever for the past 4 days. She was initially admitted to Bowring Hospital and later shifted to Ramaiah Hospital. Treatment at both the hospitals did not help. Due to heavy blood loss, Deepika breathed her last yesterday.
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜ್ವರ ಇತ್ತು, ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 ದಿನ ಜ್ವರ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಮರುಸದ ದಿನ ವಾಂತಿ ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಯ್ತು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಸರಿ ವಾಂತಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಡೆಂಗು ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಸಿ ವಿ ರಾಮನಗರ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಆಂಬುಲೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬೋರಿಂಗ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಅಂದರು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೋರಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿಲ್ಲ. ರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲಲ್ಲಿ ಅಡ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರು. ಆವಾಗ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ 1-2 ದಿನ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡಿದರು. ಲಾಸ್ಟು ನಿನ್ನೆ ಫುಲ್ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರು, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ಇದು.
Ravanaya was being treated in C.V. Raman Government Hospital. In his case too, high fever could not be controlled, which eventually led to his death. Many residents of Pora Karmika colony have been detected with symptoms of dengue. Around 30 people have been admitted to hospitals. 124 families reside in the colony. The residents complain that the colony is not maintained and they are not provided with proper facilities. Mayor B.S. Satyanarayana has instructed that the colony be fogged and cleaned.
ನೋಡಿ, ಮಳೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾಗ್ನೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ರೂಮಿಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟರ್ನ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿ, ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬೇಕೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಸಿಂಪಡಿಸೋಣ. ಅದನ್ನು ಹೋಗಿ ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ, ಅಲ್ಲೇನಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ.
Dengue is making inroads into Bengaluru. The BBMP needs to act before the situation worsens. Pramod, News 9, Bengaluru.
BBMP has finally come up with a solution to tackle the issue of property tax evasion. Here's how they plan to do it.
If you are one among those who evades BBMP property tax, then your happy days are numbered. Property tax evaders, beware. BBMP will cut your water and power supply. And how does the Palake propose to do this? BBMP is mulling over the development of a new software that will instruct the water and electricity departments to cut their respective supplies when it comes across the defaulter. In the coming days, the Palake is also planning to network all the civic bodies in the city, making it easy to keep a track of the defaulters.
ಸೊ ಈ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಒಂದು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಂಕ್ರೊನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೆಸ್ಕಾಮ್, BBMP ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ BWSB. ಮೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಇವರು ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇವರಿಗೆ ಆ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಒಂದು ಇದಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಲೀಗಲ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸು ಪ್ಲಸ್ಸು ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮನ್ನು ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್.
The Palake has already conducted a series of meetings with the Water Board and Bescom officials on the development of the software. The Palake is now consulting legal experts to check if such a thing is possible or not.
We don't want to trouble the people, but we want to collect the revenue. So now we will examine legally what is can be done.
It is good to see that the Palake is finally taking its finances seriously. It now remains to be seen if the Palake can go ahead with the software and execute what they have been planning. Pramod Shastri for News 9, Bengaluru.
It's not just traffic woes that 108 ambulance services are facing. They are also faced with another issue a lot more serious than that.
People needing emergency medical assistance always rely on 108 ambulance service. Launched by the state government, these ambulances are stationed in high accident-prone areas, making it possible for them to reach the spot as quickly as possible. Do people still rely on 108? The answer to this is no. One might find it really amusing, but the agency managing the ambulance service doesn't have enough money to foot the fuel bill. The agency has been facing this problem for quite some time now, and many have stopped relying on the service. The employees now allege that people have lost faith in 108 ambulance service thanks to the ongoing tussle between GVK and the government.
ಈಗ ಕೆಲವಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ಆಯಿತು ಆ ಒಂದು ಫ್ಲೀಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಡಿಗೆ ಅಮೌಂಟೇ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಸ್ಥಳೀಯವಾಗಿ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬಂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ಡೀಸೆಲ್ ಹಾಕಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಈಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೀಸೆಲ್ ಬಂಕಲ್ಲಿ ಇವರು ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಬಾಕಿ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಗಟ್ಟಲೆ ಬಾಕಿ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಮೊದಲಿನ ಬಾಕಿಯನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ, ನಾವು ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
The government is expected to pay GVK, the agency managing the 108 service in the state, once every 3 months. But the agency says that they have not been paid a single penny since June last year. To run all the ambulances across the state, GVK spends 6 lakh rupees a day, and they say it is not possible to carry on working without government aid. When we spoke to the head of operations of GVK, he stated otherwise. He opined that the agency wasn't facing any problems and would sort out the shortage in diesel supply after having a word with fuel station management.
No, absolutely no such delays are happening, or because of that refusals are happening, because per day, every day we are catering around 1,750 to 1,900 emergencies every day. So that is a usual trend, and we are catering. And today also, if you see that around 890 cases are assigned as of 12 o'clock from midnight. So absolutely emergencies are not affected because of that. We have 517 ambulances across the state. Out of that, 7 are total loss. Yeah, 510 are operational.
Whatever the case may be, 108 ambulances are slowly losing people's trust. It is really appalling that the government has not been able to reach an amicable solution. But in the end, it is patients who are suffering for no mistake of theirs. Pimmayya Malayanda for News 9, Bengaluru.
Now, delay in ambulances arriving do cause deaths, but the next story will truly shock you. Let's take a look at what caused the death of this 30-year-old woman.
7:30 a.m. Chennamannakare. Inconsolable family members, things inside the house strewn around. These were the scenes people woke up to in Chennamannakare. While many of you might conclude that this is a scene of a domestic fight, something much more horrific transpired here. A 30-year-old woman was brutally murdered here by her husband. The victim has been identified as 30-year-old Kantamati. She was brutally murdered by her husband Ramesh, who was in an inebriated state when he killed his wife. Ramesh would arrive home drunk every night and pick up a fight with her. But today, he decided to start the fight early in the morning. The couple started an argument at around 7:30 in the morning. Ramesh soon lost control and slashed his wife's throat with a vegetable cutting knife. If you thought this was shocking enough, then here's the bigger shock. She was murdered in front of her kids. Ramesh did not even bother about his kids watching him slashing his wife's throat. This has left Kantamati's family aghast.
ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಅವನು ಯಾವಾಗ ಕುಡಿಯೋ ಸರ್ ಡ್ರಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯವನು ಏನಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ 5 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ